Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want to begin by saying thank you. Thank you to NFP for starting this event on time, because this is something our government can never do. The difference is clear already. But I want to say a more serious thank you. I want to say thank you to the 3 members of Parliament of NFP. I want to say thank you to the strong team that supports them, to the party and branch officials that fundraise for them, and who organize events like this and provide support in so many ways. Ordinary citizens like me are looking for decent, honest political leadership. We are tired of this government. We are tired of its false promises. We are tired of its fake likes on Facebook. We are tired of its boasting, its arrogance, its bullying, and its threats, and its indifference to people suffering, as we have seen over the last 2 years. You know, most of us read the papers, we watch the TV, we watch the social media, and we say of our politicians, this job is easy. If we were in Parliament, we could do much better than them. But what most of us do not see is the constant pressure and threats our opposition leaders deal with every day. Every decision these MPs make means thinking about what will happen to them. Which law will they be accused of breaking? Will the police come to arrest them in the middle of the night? The 3 MPs of this party have been repeatedly arrested. One has been attacked physically. All have been attacked verbally. One has been attacked on Facebook in the most disgraceful way. Even, finally, the police had to act. And I know the frustrations that these MPs face in Parliament when they try to raise questions about our roads, about our hospitals, about the way the government runs this country. Their questions are ruled out of order, their motions are denied for the silliest of legal reasons. The government does what it wants in Parliament. It brings laws to Parliament today and votes them into law tomorrow. In fact, it does not even bother to count the votes in Parliament anymore. It does not even bother, as I said, to turn up on time. And this disrespects the people, because all of those in Parliament, including the opposition MPs, they are representatives of the people. And in the last budget session, after the Attorney General and Minister of Finance turned up 1 hour late, it was Ro-Filipe Tuisawao who had to deliver to them a sharp rebuke. And this is what he said. He said, "We are not here by invitation. We are elected." But the MPs of this party, ladies and gentlemen, they have stuck to their job, regardless. They have ignored the attacks, they have ignored the threats, they have held their grounds. And the true test of a leader is not how well you can sit in your back of your ministerial car. It is not how well you can order around your civil servants. The true test of a leader is how you deal with adversity, how you stand up against the power of an abusive government, and how you stand strong and tall in the face of all these pressures. And as a citizen of this country, I would like the Honourable Prasad, Honourable Tikundundua, and Lenora, please stand up, because I would like to thank you for your leadership. I would like to thank you for all you do, for all the sacrifices that you have made. And now, I want to talk about a subject that sounds a bit boring. It seems far away from the cares and worries of our people, who must worry about rising prices, the health of their parents, and the education of their children. And it may seem far away from our bad roads and our empty taps and our worries about whether there will be another COVID wave and whether our work hours will again be cut. But I want to talk about it anyway, and the topic is good governance. Because without good governance, we cannot build a better country. We can rebuild roads, but they will fall apart again. We will never be able to afford a new water system. And without water in the taps, our economy cannot grow. Without good governance, our education system will never get better. And the education of our children and our young people, in fact, the education of all of us, is the key to our future prosperity. Our health system will not improve because we can build hospitals, but we cannot make them work. Ask the people of Ba. We can plan to build swimming pools, but we can never finish them. Ask the people of Lautoka. You know, many years ago, Ratu Joni Mandrawiwi, we remember him, the late Ratu Joni, our much respected Vice President. He told me about a visit he had made to a small, faraway place in New Zealand, tucked away in the middle of nowhere. And he said to me, he was amazed how even there, the roads were perfectly sealed. And he said to me, this is good governance in action. And I knew straight away what he meant. He meant that there was a government that could not just promise, but it could also deliver. If in some faraway place in New Zealand, far away from the capital, there was a problem with the road, the people were heard, and their roads were rebuilt. And their roads were rebuilt quickly, and without fuss, and without politics, and without potholes. Because in a real democracy, good governance happens. Our parliament works as it should. Our political leaders work together in cooperation for all of our people. The government does not ignore and belittle the opposition. The government does not shut them out. You know, our parliamentary process, every law is passed under Standing Order 51 under urgency. The parliamentary process is meant to be slow. That's why we have first readings and second readings and third readings of our parliamentary bills. We are supposed to send our laws to select committees who can travel around the country and listen to the people and what they think and report back. And while they travel around the country, the people in those select committees, from the government, from the opposition, they build personal relationships. They look for ways to work together. So an opposition parliamentarian may say to the government MP, we need to improve the health services in Tailevu. And the government MP will say, let's go and talk to the minister about it. This is how we solve problems. Our government has a civil service made up of many skilled and experienced people. They are supposed to be independent. They are supposed to say to the politicians, Minister, you are wrong, or Minister, that is not a smart way to do things. But our civil servants know what will happen if they try to say this. They know they will be sent home. We need the courts to act as the independent referee when the government abuses its power and behaves wrongly. Yet so many of our laws are written in a way which says to the courts, you cannot interfere. We, the government, will decide, and you cannot interfere. In a real democracy, good governance means that we all work together. The government does not pretend it is smarter than everyone else. It brings together all of our talented people, friend or enemy, friend or foe. It brings together all the people who have a passion for improving the lives of others. I'm thinking about the workers in that powerful Western social service organization, FRIEND, of which I am part. I think about the volunteers at the Cancer Society, at the Red Cross, the school teachers who coach rugby on Saturdays, the people who support the prison fellowships. I'm thinking about the business leaders who support community projects and the unions. I'm thinking about the councillors we used to have in our towns and cities. I'm thinking about the communities who get together, they fundraise, they build bus shelters and footbridges, and they support the children in their rural boarding schools. These are the people I'm thinking about. We need these people to be heard. We need the government to listen to them and to learn about how things can be done better. Because in a democracy, the government listens patiently to criticism from the people, even if the people are sometimes wrong. because the government know they are the people's servants. The government does not say to them, "You are being political." The government brings people together to solve our problems. And my friends, this is the difference between the government we have now and the government we must have in the future. And here is the most important thing. Good governance costs nothing. It costs nothing to listen to other people. Listening and consulting others costs nothing. It does not cost billions of dollars. It does not mean we have to go into more debt. Good governance is about the attitude of the people in power and the generosity of their spirit. Good governance is about having a government that is not afraid to be criticized, which is not afraid to be told it is wrong. Good governance is about having a government that does not pick fights with USP just because it cannot win an argument, then throws out the Vice-Chancellor and stops paying millions, tens of millions of dollars that is needed to educate Fiji's own young people. And this is the first thing we, the ordinary citizens of Fiji, need to change with our votes. This is the first thing that our new government must be able to do. And one more thing. The new government must even make a place for the old government. It must be prepared to work with them and respect them as the opposition, even if, while that old government was in power, they did not do it. The new government must show that generosity of spirit. It must be different. We must have a government that is prepared to listen, to bring us all together, to make all of our lives better. And on behalf of all of us, the people of Fiji, this is what I ask that NFP and PAP pledge to do. Because good governance, bringing us all together, this is the most important thing to do. This is the most important aspect of leadership. Only then, only when we are all together and working together, only then can we begin to deal with the challenging future that all of us face in Fiji. So finally, I would like to thank you for listening to me. Thank you for coming to this meeting. And thank you for showing us that you care about the future of this country. Thank you again.